Peter King with NBC Sports here, and this is my final 40 for 40 of the season. So I thought about what I would want to say in what is going to be the last column I'm going to write here at NBC Sports, at least for now. And I really thought of something a long time ago that I wanted to talk to you about. And it's basically along the lines of, holy crap, what a wonderful life this has been. But I'm going to tell you a story about a time when I just got to Sports Illustrated in 1989. I was 32 years old, and I essentially was one of the youngest writers at the magazine. And they assigned me to cover San Francisco and Philadelphia at Old Veterans Stadium. And in those days, this was called a game you would babysit. And in other words, no plans for you to write, except if something extraordinary happens. So I'm sitting there covering the game. I said, man, this is pretty cool. I'm watching Joe Montana play against Reggie White and Jerome Brown, and I might just get to watch the game. I may not have to do a darn thing after the game. It's kind of cool. But so you may know, you may not know, but the Eagles pummeled Joe Montana for the first 3 quarters, sacked him 7 times, held him to 10 points. And in the last 14 minutes of the game, Montana threw 4 touchdown passes. And obviously, I was no longer babysitting the game. I was going to write the game. And when I came up from the locker room after the game, the managing editor of Sports Illustrated, Mark Mulvoy, called and said, well, hope you got some good stuff. You're writing the cover. And so I just want you to be in my shoes for a second. 32 years old, been at the magazine for 3 months. And at that moment, I am still, in my mind, just this kid who graduated from Ohio University 10 years earlier, who was a general assignment reporter for 4 years at the Cincinnati Enquirer, who was still really, really young in the job. And at that moment, when he said, you got the cover, I just thought to myself, time to grow up. You're not a kid anymore. You have to be in the big leagues now. And so from that moment on, honestly, I just felt strongly like I'm going to prove that I belong. And that has basically been my goal all these years. I certainly was not anywhere near close to the best writer at Sports Illustrated. I was probably very near the bottom in terms of writing quality. But I said, how can I show that I belong? I've just got to show up and I've got to work my rear end off every day. And that's really how I have treated this career, this marvelous, wonderful, incredible career, covering the NFL for 40 years, being a sports writer for 44. I've always said to myself, and especially writing Football Morning in America for NBC the last few years, I've just said to myself, you have to do something today that is unlike what anyone in this business is doing. And I've always tried to treat this like I am working for you. And I've always wanted to make absolutely sure nobody could ever read this column. You might read the column and say, what an idiot. I hate his opinion today. I totally disagree with him. But you could never say that I shortchanged you. That's been my whole goal ever since I got in the business. And as I leave, at least for now, because I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to be doing with the rest of my life. I'm 66 and we'll see what happens. But as I leave, I just want to say one last thing, and that is Thank you. Because clearly I never would have been in this position without readers like you, without people like you who followed me, read me, watched me. So I leave you with that. Thank you very, very much. And we'll see you somewhere down the road.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.